Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be sharing my delivery. I'm going to be sharing my at-home experience and just giving you guys the inside scoop on my entire birth story. So if you would like to hear everything that I experienced at the hospital, at home, after labor, and just keep up with everything that has happened, because it was a lot. Stick around because I'm going to jump right into it. So at the moment, I am not going to be, so my baby girl is right here. So you might hear her grunting and doing all the things, but my girl's good. I got her covered. But anyway, at the moment, I will not be sharing her face or her name. That is something that I do plan on sharing with you guys later on. But I do want to go ahead and tell you guys about my birth story because it was a lot. Like low key, it doesn't even sound real. But I feel like this is going to be another way to help me like process it and like, you know, just really start healing from it, because at first I was very traumatized about everything that I did experience, but I am working towards healing it, and I'm just hoping that maybe telling my story will help someone else that may have went through something similar, or you know, just to help me really process it and like release it, and you know, just keep healing physically, mentally, emotionally, all that good stuff. I'm gonna start at the very beginning with my labor timeline. So Thursday the 26th is when it all started. I was experiencing back pain. Like it wasn't too bad, and it was inconsistent. So I was like, I know I'm not in labor yet, but I know something's brewing because this felt a little different. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was like, is this what it feels like? Like I was like, I wasn't sure. Like my back was hurting and stuff. I was like, man, I didn't know what the freak was going on. Like it's like the pain would hit me and then it would go away, and I was like, because you know, like in that car accident I was in like last year, my back is messed up from that too. So I was like, maybe, you know, maybe I just triggered that again, because I still deal with that as well. So I wasn't too sure, but at the same time I was like, I think it's something strange going on back there. And I know people said back labor is a thing, so I was like, maybe my girl might be, you know, finally coming out, because like I told y'all, I thought she was going to be coming like the middle of the month. Like even though she was due the 28th, I was like, no, she's coming in the middle of the month. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. So the next day, which was the 27th, things were getting a little more intense, y'all. Like I'm talking about, the back pain was there. I was like, oh yeah, I knew for sure then something was definitely happening. Like basically my back was hurting the entire time, but then like when the contractions would hit, it would hit like way harder. So imagine your back just hurting and the pain isn't going away. And then, you know, I was scared to like put the heating pad on my back because you can't warm the baby up too much, and I was scared about cooking her up in there, you know. And then you can't really take a lot of medicine. Plus I really don't take medicine like that. If you know me, I'm more of a holistic girly. So I was like, shoot, I just was like sitting with the pain. Like honestly, like I told a lot of people, I do have like a pretty high pain tolerance, so it was hurting, but like I was managing pretty well. Like I would like stand up and like, you know, just like lean over the counter. I was getting on my yoga ball a lot. I was doing like 8s. I was doing like side to side movements, front and back movements. I would get like on all fours, do cat cow. I was also doing like breathing exercises too. So I was just doing like all different kinds of things just to like manage the pain, meditating a little bit. But like I said, the pain was definitely amplifying at this point, but I was still holding it down. I was like, all right, so I know labor is near. I really knew it was near and dear then, because I was like, wait a minute, this feels a little different. But like I said, I really wasn't experiencing any pain in my belly. It was just literally all in my back. So on the 28th, you guys, my actual due date. Mind you, at first they thought it was February 14th, but then when I had my first ultrasound, they were like, no, it is February 28th. So on my due date, it was like around 4 p.m. I want to say, stuff had like started really picking up. Like I was still managing the pain pretty well, but it was like getting more consistent. And I have like this little contraction app, so I was using that and stuff. And yeah, it was like, pack your bags, you need to go to the hospital. But it had said that the night before, so I was like, So I ended up getting a doula. I don't know if I ever told you guys that. My doula is absolutely phenomenal. She is so sweet. Like, my girl really came through for me my entire labor. And I literally met her like basically like a week or so before I went into labor. But she is so sweet, seriously. But anyway, so I reached out to her and I sent her the picture of it, and I had called her on the phone. I'm like, I think it might be that time. Like, I'm hurting. It's getting more consistent. They were like more consistent, but they still were like, the time wasn't like exact, but it was like more consistent though. So I was like, I don't know if it's going to be the same exact time every single time, but I know this time right now it hurts, and I don't know. I just didn't want to go to the hospital and they like try to like rush my labor, or they try to like send me back home. That's why I was like trying my best to do labor at home, because I already had it in my mind that I was doing a natural birth. I didn't want no epidural. I didn't want to do all the things. I just wanted to do it natural. And truthfully, I would have loved to have done a water birth, but you know, maybe if I end up having another kid in the future, that may be something I consider. But yeah, so at this time, things was getting more intense. Things was building up. I reached out to my doula and she was like, yeah, girl, it's that time. So, of course, before I just up and leave, you know, I had to wash myself, get myself all together. We practically already had the diaper bag packed, like all of her stuff at least. But we just needed to do a couple more things. So, like I said, this was like roughly around, I want to say closer to 5 o'clock. We didn't leave till like closer to like 6 o'clock. So, when I got to the hospital, I was already 3 centimeters dilated. I honestly thought I was going to be way more, because like for the pain I was experiencing, I'm like, dang, I'm only 3. The contractions were like kind of consistent as well. So I thought I was going to be goddamn like 8, 9 something, you know. And then prior that week, I got checked, my cervix checked as well, and I was 2 centimeters. So I was like, dang, I'm not dilating quick enough. What is going on? This is where things started progressing a little. So like I said, when I got to the hospital, my back was just still hurting. Like, it was just like consistent pain. It would ease up a little bit, but it wouldn't fully go away. I was just having like back pain like the entire time. So I just was sitting on the yoga ball. I just was moving back and forth, rocking. Can y'all believe within like 2 hours, I went up to 5 centimeters. I was like, dang, I honestly didn't think it would help. And truthfully, the way my back was feeling, I'm surprised I even sat on that yoga ball for 2 hours. Like, my back was hurting, you guys. Like I said, I was managing it pretty well. I wasn't like screaming, I wasn't crying, because I'm pretty headstrong. So when I would like feel really intense ones, I just would like breathe through it, and I just would like sit with it and stuff like that. So this is what I will say. If you experience contractions, I'm telling you, breathing through them is like absolutely the best thing to do. Like, I know probably during that time, you're not going to be thinking about breathing. You're going to want to tense up, but breathing through it helps so much. I promise you. So the pain was getting overwhelming, y'all. Like I told you, I was literally experiencing this pain for like 2 days already. So I was just like over being in pain. Like, so at this point, I was like, you know what? I think I just want to go ahead with the epidural, because my body was tired. I literally did not get sleep the night before. So I was exhausted. My back was on fire. So I'm like, you know what? I know I didn't want to do the epidural, but I'm not going to be too hard on myself. I'm going to listen to my body. My body is telling me, girl, we need to rest. Like, you already got to push this baby out, and then you're already in a lot of pain, and you didn't get no sleep. You might as well just get the epidural. You're not failing. Your baby's still going to come out safe, healthy, all that good stuff. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to do the epidural. And I already said, like, if I get the epidural and my water hasn't broken yet, I might as well just let them break my water. So they went ahead and broke my water first, which my doula was like, they probably shouldn't have did that, because when they do break your water, it does kind of like amplify your contractions. But like I said, I was managing the pain like nothing. So the contractions were getting a little more, a little more serious, but I still was like, I wasn't like screaming and freaking out. I just would breathe through them. I would get quiet, breathe through them. I had like a labor comb. I had a stress ball. I was just doing all the things. But so then probably about like 20 minutes later, the lady came in there and she gave me the epidural. You got to be like extremely still. And when I tell y'all, that epidural worked great. my legs were like noodles. Like, bruh, it got really crazy. But yeah, once that epidural finally kicked in, y'all, I felt amazing. Like, I was so happy to finally not be in pain. Like, I was in pain so long, I didn't know how my body felt not to be in pain. I was like, God dang, like, shoot. And mind you, my entire pregnancy was like a cakewalk. So I was not expecting my back to be on fire the way it was. My back was on fire. But yeah, finally, after a million hours of back labor, I didn't feel any pain. And they were kind of scaring me. They were like, my baby isn't moving as much as they would like. So they were saying something about a C-section. Like, they just kept messing with me. Like, overall, the delivery team that delivered my baby, they were phenomenal. I'm not going to lie about that. Like, the hospital that I delivered at in particular does not have like a good reputation around here. So I was kind of nervous about delivering there, but that was the closest one to me. So I had to deliver there. But yeah, they were saying my baby wasn't being that active, and they were kind of worried about that. And then that's when they gave me Pitcillin. I always call it Pitcillin. I mean, they gave me Pitocin to kind of speed things up, because like once they you know, ruptured my water, it's like everything slowed down. Like, I was not progressing at all. And that was another reason why I really didn't want to get my water broken or do like epidural or anything like that, because I knew I wouldn't be able to move around freely like I wanted to. And like, my body was progressing naturally on its own, and that's what I wanted it to do, because I didn't want to like force her out. I wanted her to come on her own. But you know, I'm giving myself grace, because that was a lot. So I'm giving myself grace with that. I'm still like working through all my emotions with everything, but especially because things did not go exactly as planned, which I was pretty open-minded, because you know, things sometimes just don't go as planned, and that's okay. I already had that in my mind. If things don't go as planned, it's perfectly fine. Like, I just want her to be healthy. I want to be safe too. I got to take care of me. So it was what it was, and it did what it had to do. At this point, I believe it was like they gave me Pitocin. It was kind of speeding things up. They said she wasn't moving as much as they wanted to. They kept throwing the C-section word around, and I'm like, I'm not getting no C-section. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Like, her heart rate was fine. She just wasn't moving a lot. And like, I was trying to explain to them, she is like a night owl. She doesn't move a lot during the day. Like, the movements that I was feeling from her was like her typical movements. Like, her heart rate and stuff was fine. Like, it would dip at certain points, but I think it was because of them stressing me out, honestly, truthfully. Like, they just kept coming in there bothering me. I literally got no sleep the night before, and then I literally got no sleep there either. Like, and I was in labor for almost 14 hours just there. 14 freaking hours, y'all. So y'all can already imagine how overwhelming that was. I was pushing her for like 2 hours. My girl did not want to come out. She was in posterior position. If you don't know what that means, that's basically like she was sunny side up. So babies are typically, they're supposed to be head down, but she was freaking head up. And that's why I was experiencing back labor as well, because we were like back to back and her head was up. So I think that was like why my back labor was so, you know, why I was experiencing that. So she was sunny side up. I was pushing for like 2 hours. I would push her, she would go back up. I would push her, she would go back up. Like, because she wouldn't like fully get past. Like, her shoulders weren't getting past because of how she was positioned inside me. So long story short, they had to vacuum her out. I'm not gonna lie, they did kind of scare me about that part, because like when they were doing it, like the suction had like came off twice, so she kind of like went back in there pretty hard, and I was like, and then they were saying like how she could potentially have blood on her brain. Like, when they said that, I instantly started crying, because what do you mean? Like, y'all in here doing all these different things, y'all saying all these different things to me. I don't feel well, and then now I gotta deal with this too. So it was just a lot. But yeah, so at that point, I was overwhelmed. Like, they were like, we're gonna have to suction her out. And I'm looking at my doula like, oh my God, is that okay? Can they do that? Should I let them do this? Like, but at this point, I was just like over it. So I was like, you know what? Y'all do what y'all gotta do, man. I did end up tearing a little, which, well, they had to cut me, which that was on my birth plan as well. I didn't want them to have to like cut me or do, I think it's called like a episiotomy or something. Don't quote me on it. But anyway, so they ended up having to cut me, which, you know, I ended up tearing from that. I also had COVID during this, y'all. And I think that's why my back was hurting as bad as it was too. So I literally did not feel like I had COVID. Only thing that was wrong, my voice was kind of scratchy. Like I still do have it a little bit. Naturally, I have a raspy voice, but I feel like it is a little more, you know, and I am a little congested a little. But yeah, they said I had COVID too. And then all these other things. And then, you know, I had like 5 doctors in there. Like, it was just a lot. Honestly, overall, the experience was kind of traumatic. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, baby girl came out at 10:19 a.m. She was weighing 7 pounds, 9.7 ounces. They tried to say my girl was gonna be small, but my girl was 7 pounds. They had me stressing about that during my pregnancy too, talking about she could potentially be on the smaller side. But my girl was, she was thriving. She did good. My first reaction when I seen her, y'all, I was so doped up. Like, I think I was just like so in shock, so traumatized by everything that happened. Like, I really didn't even know what was happening. I was so disassociated. I couldn't even really process anything. But like, when they laid her on my chest, it was pretty sweet. I do have pictures of that. Like I told y'all, I did end up with a tear. I'm not gonna lie, the first couple days were pretty intense. Like, your girl was just going through it because I couldn't move the way I wanted to. Like, I'm literally a new mom and I couldn't even care for my kid the way I wanted to. That was putting a lot on me mentally. Like, delivery in itself is already a lot, but then like when you're experiencing like another injury on top of it, it's just like, man, I just felt like a failure. I was going through so many different emotions. But I will say, I have an amazing support system. Like, my man has been showing up, his family, my friends, like everyone has been showing up for me for sure, and baby girl. So I can say that has been helping out tremendously. And then I want to share something else with y'all. So tell me how I ended up getting engorged, y'all. I ended up freaking getting engorged and I didn't even know it because I was so dang doped up on all the medicine they gave me from my other part going on. I didn't even know. So I do see like a lactation specialist, and I had went to go see her, and then she was like, girl, are you okay? Like, it was like bad and I didn't even know it. I couldn't even feel it. That's how you know it's real. But like, I ended up getting all of that fixed. You know, I've been taking care of myself with that. I've been pumping pretty good. I've been breastfeeding pretty good. Like, baby girl is, you know, she's catching on pretty quick. At first it was not going as well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't sit the way I needed to. I couldn't even bend down at first. Like sitting like this, it was putting me in a lot of pain. So I'm trying to breastfeed and do all these different things, and it's like my body isn't up to do all this. So it was just a lot. Like, the first week, well, the first, I want to say like 4 days was just like a lot. Like, but it does get better, and it has gotten better. She sleeps through the night now too, because I'm able to, like, you know, take care of her a little better. We do use formula also, like, you know, just to have balance, but I'm already building up a pretty decent stash, which I'm like super happy about, because, you know, they say women with like PCOS, they may not be able to produce as much milk, but I feel like I'm beating like all of the odds. Even like with a baby, like, you know, being pregnant with, or what am I trying to say? Having PCOS and then having a baby, normally they can lose like way more weight, but she literally gained all her weight back. So she came out 7 pounds, 9.7 ounces. When we went to see the doctor, she went down to 7 pounds, 2 ounces. And then when we went back 2 days later, she was 7 pounds and 8 ounces. So like, yeah, we literally beating the odds out here. I'm producing my milk. She's gaining weight like it ain't nothing. Like, so everything has been working out, you know, as far as that. I'm just working on, you know, healing from this and processing this. I am like going back to therapy now because it just was a lot. I did take a little break from therapy, but she told me to like focus on the positive moments of my birth story and stuff like that, because the whole thing wasn't like traumatic. Like, I had my mom there with me, had my doula, had my man. Like, even though I was in pain, we were like laughing and joking and stuff. Like, things didn't get like too intense until like the very, I want to say that last hour, things got intense. And then like I went through like a little shock period, but like things are getting better now. I'm starting to feel much better mentally. I'm starting to feel much better physically. You know, I just have to keep healing and keep working towards it. But I just have to share my birth experience with you guys, you know, because we're locked in. And I feel like I just need to get this off my chest. And plus, my story may be able to help someone else out there. Oh yeah, I do plan on having some more mommy content come out soon, so make sure you stay on the lookout for that. I am also going to continue to do like my other videos, so for all of my people that are not moms, or you know, you watch my channel for other reasons, you know, hair care, stuff like that, vlogs, you know, my typical things, make sure you don't leave, because I'm still going to continue to do that type of stuff as well. I just want to, you know, do it all. Mommy content, hair content, trip vlogs, you know, we doing it all. So make sure you stick around, stay tuned, because you already know your girl will be back soon. Bye for now.